Here's a fact that we came across that should cause you to lose some sleep. There are currently 897 super PACs as of this moment. Super PACs are, of course, unaffiliated political groups like Karl Rove's American Crossroads, which can spend limitless amounts of money to influence elections. We have the Supreme Court's unprecedented and dangerous Citizens United ruling to thank for that. And our next guest argues that the Citizens United ruling is emblematic of a new era, potentially, in American politics and jurisprudence, one where runaway corporate spending, also known as free speech, shapes our elections and their outcomes. Coming to us tonight from Washington, D.C. to warn us about the dangers of Citizens United and this new wild era of the Supreme Court is Jamie Raskin. Jamie is a Maryland State Senator and law professor at American University, and he's author of a new article about the Supreme Court in the latest issue of The Nation. Jamie, thank you so much for joining us inside the War Room.
The pleasure is mine, Jennifer.
All right, so tell us then how Citizens United has made the United States a nation of corporations, essentially, and not people.
Well, Citizens United transformed our politics in the same way that Bush versus Gore took the last decade from us, in essence, by deciding the election for that one lucky guy who won the election because of the court's intervention. Citizens United is really an effort to remake all of American politics in the image of large corporate wealth and large corporate power. We had essentially a wall of separation between corporate treasury wealth and public elections for many decades, and the Supreme Court had said as far back as Chief Justice John Marshall in the Dartmouth College case, and as recently as Chief Justice Rehnquist and other conservative justices like Justice White, that a corporation is not a person armed with political rights, but it's an artificial entity that's an instrumentality of the state that's used for purposes of accumulating wealth, investing wealth, and it does a great job at that, but that we should never allow the corporations to breach the barrier between economics and politics. But that's precisely what the 5-4 decision in Citizens United did. It said that corporations can use their treasuries as political slush funds, essentially, for their favored candidates.
Right. And so essentially, what you've said is that, and what the court has said, essentially, is that free speech does not depend upon the source of the speech. I can have free speech. The corporation can have free speech. Can a municipality have free speech? Can a church have that kind of free speech where you might see, a mayor directing tax dollars or a pastor directing church dollars to a candidate because they believe that it might further their interest?
But the new doctrine is that the identity of the speaker is irrelevant and that all political speech is protected equally, so you can spend whatever money you've got on it. That would mean that the city of New York or Miami or Chicago could put money into a local election to tell people who to vote for. It would mean that churches would have the power to put money directly into political campaigns on behalf of candidates. But of course, the Roberts Court doesn't mean it when it says the identity of the speaker is irrelevant, because there are a lot of disfavored speakers in the conservative court, like public school students, public employees, whistleblowers,
so
third-party candidates who don't have equal rights.
Right, exactly. Now, just quickly, a lot of conservatives want us to believe that Citizens United actually promotes free speech. Why does it actually limit speech? Because of the volume that can be purchased.
Well, the first thing you've got to see is that corporate executives already had a total right to spend whatever they wanted of their own money, just like corporate shareholders could do. All that Citizens United says is that the CEO can take money directly out of the corporate treasury and put it into politics for the management's chosen candidate. So it doesn't expand free speech rights at all. It just allows corporate money to enter politics. But what that means is that they can buy up all of the TV time and squeeze everybody else out. And that's precisely what's happening. And by the way, it's not just super PACs. It's 501c4s and C6, the trade associations, where we're getting foreign corporate money pouring into American politics through these vehicles.
We have done a lot on this show about the organizations that sound like social benefit, and actually it's really a social detriment because of the amount of money that's being spent on behalf of corporations. Jamie Raskin, coming to us from Washington, D.C., thank you for joining us inside the War Room. I'm going to have you back because it's such an important discussion. I want to get to the solutions, and that's your next visit to the War Room. Up next.